Support for Colorado Today comes from Credit Union of Colorado. With access to over 30,000 ATMs and a mobile app, they're dedicated to offering the services of a big bank with a heart. Learn more at honestlygood.org.
Support for Colorado Today comes from Safeway. Their pharmacists are here to help, offering a wide range of vaccines including flu, COVID, pneumonia, and RSV immunizations. Visit your local Safeway or schedule online at safeway.com/pharmacy.
Tomorrow, you can get into any national park for free. It's National Public Lands Day. It's also planned as a big cleanup effort. If you'd like to roll up your sleeves to help, you can sign up to volunteer on the National Park Service website, or you can just go and enjoy the parks. I'm Bazi Kanani. Coming up, high schools are trying to protect their football games from guns.
A school football field is really not a securable space.
2 Colorado school districts are testing new approaches. Then, Colorado Springs Mayor Yemi Mobolade doubles down on public safety in his annual address, and you'll find out why he thinks this.
The decision to relocate U.S. Space Command to Huntsville was deeply disappointing. But what we're losing is largely symbolic.
Plus, you have a chance to get caught up in Halloween.
All of this go bloody, and we have blood all over the costume.
It's Friday, September 26th. Here's the news in Colorado today. On this Friday night, you may be heading to your local high school to cheer on the football team. If you'll be in those crowds in Denver or Douglas County this fall, you may notice some new security measures. Both public school districts are starting new pilot programs in response to a concerning trend: the nationwide rise in gun violence at school sports events.
This was a surprise to me when I started this research.
David Reedman is a professor at Idaho State University who keeps a database on all reported gun violence incidents at schools.
It turns out the most common reason for any shooting on campus is not a deliberately planned attack. It's just an escalation of a dispute, and somebody who's involved in that dispute happens to have a gun. And that's also the most common situation that happens at sporting events.
He says that's especially true of high school football games that draw large crowds. He says shootings there have been steadily increasing for a decade now, and it's a tough issue for schools to manage.
A school football field is really not a securable space, so there's not a lot that a school can do about it. If you think about an NFL stadium or a Division I football game, there will be hundreds of event security officers and police officers assigned to that game, both in the parking lot and in the venue. And then you have, a fence or a stadium where the only way to get in is through entrances that are managed by multiple people doing security screenings. And that's just not viable at most schools.
Denverite's Kyle Harris is here to tell us more about what Colorado school districts are trying to do about it. Kyle, let's start with Denver Public Schools. You've reported that they plan to introduce gun-sniffing dogs.
Yes, so the district will station Labrador retrievers outside of big sports events and see how many guns those dogs can sniff out. School sporting events in Denver also use metal detectors, so the dogs are kind of a backup.
Are dogs a common solution?
Well, gun-sniffing dogs have actually been used in school districts across the country. Dallas-Fort Worth managed to confiscate 30 guns on campuses in just 1 year. The same dogs were involved in around 1,500 drug seizures. In Denver, though, firearms will be the only items the dogs are going to be sniffing for.
Will Denver schools use dogs during the school day as well?
Currently, no, but if this pilot program proves to be a success, the district may start using the dogs in some schools around the city.
Another large school district in Colorado, Douglas County, is also working to increase security. There, they are trying out metal detectors at their stadiums.
That's right. As I mentioned, Denver already has those. But earlier this year, the Douglas County School District bought 4 metal detectors. The district has also implemented a clear bag policy at sporting events. And students in 8th grade or younger need to be accompanied by adults. In many schools, including Denver and Douglas County, firearms are prohibited whether or not people have concealed carry licenses.
Kyle, it's pretty depressing to think about high school sports events that are full of cheer and school spirit as being risky places.
The schools want to preserve that good energy. The only way they can do that is if they get a handle on these safety issues. And, measures like these are designed to improve safety. The districts hope they work.
Denverite's Kyle Harris, thank you.
Thank you.
If you're looking for something you can do about this, the CU Center for the Study and Prevention of Violence says lock up any guns.
We do know that safe storage practices are an effective strategy.
Beverly Kingston directs the center.
That's something that everybody can be focusing on. It's very actionable. It's not expensive.
Kingston is part of a community of safety experts and people in Colorado who are developing ways to make schools safer. She says another thing you can do is actively look out for warning signs.
So in shooting after shooting, when there is a studied, detailed report, we find that there were missed opportunities to intervene in an earlier point in time.
She says there's a ton of research now, and we should focus on things like this that are proven to make a difference. We have a link to read more in the show notes. Mayor Yemi Mobolade says Colorado Springs is prioritizing public safety. Even though the city faces budget problems, he talked extensively about that in his annual State of the City address yesterday. KRCC's Brianna Heaney was there and joins us now from Colorado Springs. Hi, Bri.
Hi, Bazzi. Okay, so first, picture this with me. The mayor was on stage, and on top of his normal suit and tie, he had a Notre Dame football jersey.
Notre Dame is a bit surprising. That's a long ways from Colorado.
Yes, Notre Dame is out of state, but he used to live in South Bend, Indiana. He billed this as his halftime speech. It's about halfway through his term as mayor, and as he got into the meat of it, he called public safety the cornerstone of his mayoral legacy.
Why does he have such an intense focus on public safety?
He says people in the city want more police officers. A lot of people here see public safety as the top function of government, and I think the military presence helps promote this focus on law enforcement. Mobolade talked about hiring hundreds more police officers and bringing on the most officers the city's ever had. He also says the 911 call center is fully staffed for the first time in 7 years, and they have invested in a high-tech center with a drone that helps with policing.
Like so many other cities, Colorado Springs is also having to trim its budget. How did Mobolade address that?
Yeah, the elephant in the room was that Colorado Springs is short tens of millions of dollars. The mayor's office laid off dozens of people and furloughed others. They closed a community center, and Mobolade didn't really address this directly at all. But he framed it as the city facing economic headwinds.
For the past 15 years, Colorado Springs has enjoyed steady revenue growth. But since 2023, that growth has flattened.
What about Space Command? That was a huge loss for the city recently when the Trump administration announced that it's relocating it to Alabama.
Yes, Mobolade got the most animated at this part of the speech. He didn't criticize or blame Trump. He also said he sees the loss of the Space Command headquarters as largely symbolic. And he made this impassioned case for Colorado Springs.
And while U.S. Space Comm headquarters may be moving, many of its critical assets remain here in Colorado Springs. You see, no city in America is better positioned to support our nation's space and defense mission, including Golden Dome.
Golden Dome is the missile defense system Trump wants to implement, similar to Israel's Iron Dome. Colorado politicians from all different political parties are trying to get jobs and operations in Colorado Springs as part of it.
The cost of housing is also a big issue in the Springs, just as it is elsewhere on the Front Range. What did the mayor say about that?
Despite the economic headwinds he talked about earlier, housing prices have stayed high here.
Our region faces a housing shortfall of nearly 28,000 units. That's a sobering number. The gap is large.
He touted the construction going on, particularly with affordable units, and he endorsed a strategy called Yes in God's Backyard. That's where churches help build affordable housing on their land. You know, here in the Springs, much like a lot of other places, there is construction everywhere. Almost every city council meeting I go to, there's a new proposal to build more homes. So there's a real need, and homes are going up. Next month, for example, the Widefield School District is breaking ground on Habitat for Humanity homes for the school districts, teachers, and employees who need affordable housing.
Was there anything uniquely Colorado Springs that came up?
Truly, there are way more potholes in Colorado Springs than I expected when I moved here to start this job reporting for KRCC. I came into this speech today wondering if he would bring it up, and lo and behold,
What is the State of the City address without the mayor addressing potholes? You're welcome.
he says they filled in tens of thousands of them, and he's added 12 more staff to fix the potholes.
Sounds like you and a lot of other residents, Bree, will be very happy about that. KRCC's Brianna Heaney, thanks for your reporting.
You're welcome.
Okay, time to put city budget stuff aside and get ready for Halloween. Colorado Ballet is about to open its production of Dracula. It's been popular in years past, and it'll be on stage again in Denver next week. The company's wardrobe manager, Sharin Lancarany, gave us the inside scoop on what it takes to transform ballet dancers into vampires.
I love it. I love my job.
The ballet purchased this version of Dracula from an English ballet company about 2 decades ago. The deal included the choreography and original score, as well as the sets, costumes, and something known as the Bible. Basically, a book that's the gospel for how the wardrobe, hair, and makeup should look.
All of them come in the Bible, and we follow the Bible.
This Bible is a work of art itself, full of watercolor paintings that map out the ballet's aesthetics. And it being a ballet about vampires, there is plenty of blood on stage and on the costumes.
All of this go bloody, and we have blood all over the costume.
You can see photos of the ballet, its fake blood, and images from the design Bible at the link in our show notes. Also, if you're now really in the mood for more creepy and ghoulish things to do, Denverite's annual Denverite is back. And this time it's for 2 nights. Join the Denverite team October 21st and 22nd at the Bug Theater for evenings of eerie storytelling. You can get your tickets at denverite.com/denverfright. Reporting for today's show also came from CPR's Lauren Antonoff-Hart and Sandy Batulga. To keep up with what's happening in your state, be sure to follow Colorado Today in your podcast app. I'm Bazi Kanani. This is CPR News.
Support for Colorado Today comes from Safeway. Their pharmacists are here to help, offering a wide range of vaccines including flu, COVID, pneumonia, and RSV immunizations. Visit your local Safeway or schedule online at safeway.com/pharmacy.
Support for Colorado Today comes from Credit Union of Colorado. With access to over 30,000 ATMs and a mobile app, they're dedicated to offering the services of a big bank with a heart. Learn more at honestlygood.org.